Hi. You might be asking, rightfully, why I'm sitting in this side of the workshop on a stool in the dark. And there's a very good reason for that. I really like this side of the workshop now. It used to be all cluttered. It used to have my workout equipment in there. But as you saw last week, we got a bandsaw, we got a drill press, we got a grind. We started to get some tools to make this side of the workshop kind of like a machine shop almost. That's also not why I'm sitting in the dark. We are sitting in the dark because the lighting was the thing over this side that really didn't live up to being a workshop, because there was one globe. It was kind of just across over there, if you can see my hand at all. It was a hue globe, but it wasn't overly bright. It wasn't in exactly the right spot. And then I discovered that when I pulled some downlights out of the laundry to upgrade those to hue lights, that the downlights I took out were actually completely sealed units with a cord and a plug. And that's how they're all done. So I was like, oh, I can just plug those into the mains and build a little bracket and stick it up on the roof. So I cut a little bit of ply with the bandsaw and jigsawed out a hole, added some L brackets and stuck it up into the rafters. And now I have really good lighting over here. I mean, you can't see that right now, but you're about to when I hit this button right here. Oh, did the photo adjust? It did. Look at that. How good is this? And now I can actually see what I'm doing when I'm cutting. I can see what I'm doing when I'm drilling, and I can see what I'm doing when I'm grinding, and I can see what I'm doing all the things. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's amazing just how light can change a thing completely. Now, that's not the topic of today, though. We are going to do another workshop upgrade, but a different one this time. This is something that I thought about while I was, doing lights, and I built a little phone holder and just like moving around the workshop a little bit. I found one thing I kept doing, and I'm hoping that this upgrade will stop me from doing that, and that is tripping over this stool. Now, this stool is a replica. I'm not even going to say replica. I'm just going to say a rip-off of an original French design. It's originally a Tolix stool, if you've heard of a Tolix stool. This is not a Tolix stool. This is a stool, I think we've had it for like 10 years, but it's a no-name rip-off. We got it real cheap in the set of 4. You see them everywhere in cafes. Our ones, they used to sit in our old house along the kitchen bench so people could sit and we could chat and whatever. This kitchen doesn't have one of those benches, and so these chairs have kind of just like, there's one in the laundry, there's one in the kids' room, there's one in the office, there ended up being one here in the workshop. So I was like, the trick is I am tripping over it. Like, now, these stools, originally designed by a guy called Xavier Picard, I think it is, in 1934. These are not the original ones. The original ones, or the new, because you can still buy them. They go for like $400 and $600 depending on where you are in the world. This was cheap, like $25 or something. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it into something I can see a little bit more. And what we're going to do is we're going to add stripes to it, like warning stripes, like warning, do not cross this line, work is happening here. Just some like red and white striped, kind of more of a warning system, so I don't trip over this thing so much. Now that's going to involve masking off some sections and then spraying some white, so we get this kind of red-white effect. I'm going to have to do masking with just some like easy to peel off masking tape. It's going to take a little bit of time just for me to figure out all the angles and how to get it right and to get it looking nice. But I figured this would be a cool little project to do, and I think we're going to have something really cool at the end. So let's jump into figuring this out, because I haven't really overly thought about it. All I know is that what I am going to have to do, and I'll talk to you about it when we get over to the bench, and I'll go over to the bench, I think. Let me figure out where's the best place to do this, but how cool's the light? I'll catch you in a sec. All right, we have our stool.
What we're going to do is, like I said, spray some white paint over the top of it, but we're going to mask out certain sections, so when we pull it off, it's going to look like red stripes on a white background. Now the trick to this is remembering that the thing we have to mask off, so that is revealed when we peel the paint off, are the bits that we want red, because we want to make it feel like it's almost the opposite. I don't want to spray white stripes onto a red, I want to make it feel like there are red stripes on a white background. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is have stripes that go around here, wrap, but maybe don't go all the way to the edge, just so it feels a little bit considered, or stripes that go here and then we leave a thin line. I'm thinking maybe we might go all the way across. We might go all the way across actually, leaving a thin line inside and out, sorry, around the edges, little ones here. Then when we get to the top section, we'll do one big one here and one big one here, so that they kind of becomes like a design feature. It's going to be like a lot of masking tape. We have this blue masking tape here, which we'll use. It's just easy to get off. It's going to be a little bit of like fiddliness, half sketching, half kind of cutting very, very fine lines to make it feel like it's that the red lines have been put on. But I'm up for it. It's going to be fun. Let's jump onto the bench and we'll get taping. Cue time lapse of me hours of taping. It's early days yet, but I wanted to show you something, and something that I was not proud of, but proud I remembered. When I was at school, I did a trade school, so I did woodworking and sheet metal and plastics and textiles and all those things. I was lucky enough to get a lot of hands-on experience at school, and I just remembered one of the things that my woodwork teacher taught me, which I didn't really realize. I think I do it all the time, but I'm not sure if I do or not. Now, if you want to draw an even line around, I'm not sure if you can even see it, but there is a line there. If you want to draw an even line around a thing or down a straight line, you can, actually let me get a piece of wood and I'll show you. It's easier to see on a scrap bit of wood. Just say I want to just mark roughly, I mean, you can even measure it. You can just say you want a 5mm line inside that piece of wood. So there, right? Just see that mark? What you can do is you can run your finger, you just kind of lock the pencil to your finger, and then just run your finger down the edge. It's not 100% accurate, but it's like 90%. It will get you 90% of the way there to a straight line down a thing by just anchoring your finger to the pencil, and then you can kind of give it a nice border. If you need to kind of roughly mark around a thing, if you're like making an edge and you want 5mm on both sides, and you know you want to just kind of shave that edge off, it's such a quick technique. And I just used it to mark around the edge of this top of the chair, and the line lined up as I went around. Thank you, woodworking teacher. I've actually forgotten his name, which is sad. But thank you so much. Appreciate it. You take skills and bring them through life with you. Nothing better. No, because no one can take that away from you. Okay, now I was going to mark out with pencil all the lines and then tape around the lines, and I've just quickly realized, because I was trying to wrap my ruler around, kind of like vaguely getting that angle and then kind of vaguely by eye following it down to here, and to get, you know, roughly the angle. Like that's kind of how I want it to look. Come come down with me to floor level. That's kind of how I would like it to look. So it starts there, stops up there, and then we go white, red. So that's fine. And then I was thinking, when I was doing graphics class in high school, this is all of this workshop stuff is me just revisiting high school. We had those bendy rulers where you would be able to like bend a line and then rule a line. And I was like, oh man, I wish I had one of those because I could wrap it around the edge of the chair and then rule a line. And then I realized as I was talking about that or thinking about that through my head that I could just use the tape. So what I'm going to do is, because the tape is a straight line that curves, strangely enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of half mark. Like I'm going to mark the lines I need to trim, like these straight lines here. I'll mark those, and I'll mark the distances between things, or just measure the distances between things, and then kind of just do the rest by eye with tape, because the tape naturally forms around where I would like it to form around. This is great. I love learning in the moment and figuring out in the moment, like having an idea, taking it to a place and then going, actually, you know what? That's completely wrong. I should do it like that. I should do it like this. Let the project talk to you and tell you how it should be done. Cool. Let's do this. Okay, all right. We're most of the way through, which is good. God damn, this sticky tape dispenser is amazing. It's got 2 rolls of sticky tape on it. I'm not even using this one. This one, it's got sharp edges. It's metal. It's heavy. I love that one. Okay, so all right, let me explain. This is where we are, right? So it's all like kind of nice and neat. But what happens is, as I'm moving around, there is introduced error that is happening, where these angles here, I think because they were, I measured them off this angle. They're meant to be 45, but I measured them off an angle, so they're less than 45. But as I'm going around, that I'm trying to like replicate the angle, but also go with the chair, and the chair's got a whole bunch of angles on it, which is kind of fucking everything up. So when I get around to here, back to the start, that's my first line, but that's my, but the angle is way different on this one. So I've kind of got to slowly and imperceptibly almost figure out how to change the angle from here. This one's a little wonky, but I'm trying to angle it enough where it's not 100% noticeable that I'm changing the angle. And that's hard, but I'll figure it out mostly. It's going to be, look, it's not going to be perfect. Never was going to be perfect. But that's just, dealing with angles and then wrapping around. There's a bit of play at some point because I kind of eyeballed it. Wish me luck. There's a bit of figuring out. Okay, I think I've figured it out. So if we come, I'm kind of down around. So what I've had to do is when these angles here come down and around, the angle of the line changes to less steep because it goes down, and then as it wraps around, it kind of kicks around, kind of bends a little bit. So what I've had to do is like almost imperceptibly change the shape of lines that go around a corner, so they're thinner at one end and fatter at the other end. So they're not actually a straight line. They're a very slight, not a parallelogram. What is it? Parallelogram's no, not a parallelogram. It's one of the other ones. Anyway, so as it goes around, there's a trick of the eye that kind of takes the lines that curve around and ever so slightly changes the shape of them. So they're vaguely a little bit more in line with each other. Not exactly, and they'll never be exactly, I don't think. was actually thinking that even if I took a long line of tape and just taped up the whole thing, it wouldn't work like that because of just this. There are so many different angles going on. So actually, I've got an example. Not really an example, but a demonstration. No, I don't know. Anyway, look, take this car. Take my Mustang. Back in the 60s, 67, when Carroll Shelby did the Shelby Mustang. This is actually a 67, but it's not a Shelby, not a fastback, never. So he would put racing lines on them. So it'd be blue with white racing lines, or white with blue racing lines. I think you could get both. But what he would sense is that if you took a shot of the Mustang like this, I mean further back, but I can't get it closer, the lines would be big here, and then taper down because of distance. They would taper and get smaller. So if you took a cool shot of it like that, not with this fisheye lens, even a photo, like if you looked at it. So what he did was he made the lines at the front slightly thinner and the lines at the back slightly larger. So the lines were a little bit more. So they kind of went like that to like that. So they were less wide at the front and angled at the back, if that makes any sense. If basically he foreshortened the lines. That was back in 1967. This is not 1967. This is me with tape on a fake Tolix chair. I'm vaguely doing the same thing, just doing a trick of the eye. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the taping. It's getting a little bit late, so we might do the spray painting tomorrow, and then I'll have to leave it for a day to dry, and we'll be like, this is going to be a process that will go over a couple of days. But again, like everything around here, it'll happen for you in 10 seconds. We are done. Check out this. It has stripes that go all the way around that vaguely look like they're all on the same angle, which is amazing. It has stripes on top. It just needs to be painted. We just need to do the paint bit, which we'll do tomorrow morning or sometime. Like I said, we got to let that dry, and then we'll be back to do more, to do the big reveal, to do all the peeling off part, which was equally as nerve-wracking as doing the tape, because sometimes that fucks up too. We'll catch you then. Okay, so it's a bit windy out here today. Not much, so we should be fine. Let's set up, let's spray, let's see how it goes. I bought this heavy canvas drop sheet like 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And I love that you can see the remnants of every single project that's been sprayed on it. Arcade cabinets and pedal boards, and every idea has a place here. Okay, it's time for coat 2. I think the wind has died down, so hopefully I'm fighting the wind less. Protection, let's do it. All right, I actually think that's pretty good. You know what? Every time I would go around this side, which is downwind, the wind would pick up. I'm like, oh, so I'd move back around the other side, spray for a while, wait for the wind to die down, because the wind was taking it that way anyway. Go around that side, the wind would pick up again. But I think we're in a good spot. I'm going to let that dry properly now, and then we'll flip it upside down once it's all dry, and carefully do an upside down spray for all the stuff I missed going up that way. But I think it's going to look great. I'm really excited. We've done our second coat. Everything seems mostly dry. Could probably dry a little bit more, but it's not going to be a problem for what we need to do next, which is start to peel away the masking that we did. Now, it's a tricky thing because you don't want the paint to be so stretchy that it pulls and breaks, but at the same time you don't want it to be too hard that it breaks in a different way. So we're gonna just have a look, and if it's bad, we'll come back. We're just feeling it out at the moment. I'm gonna bring you closer. I'm gonna get a scalpel, and we're gonna start to do some surgery on masking tape. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna start on this one, this little panel here. I'm just gonna go in very, very gently and start to just see what's gonna happen, whether it's gonna pull paint away with it, whether it needs to dry a little bit more. I feel like this is the best kind of option. This is where the rubber hits the road on this project, because if it all fails now, it was all for nothing. So I'm gonna get a scalpel. All right, starting to come away. Although the tape is also tearing a little bit. Let's see if I can just start it enough to be able to grab it. Come on. Oh, here we go. This is looking good. Just be careful, careful, careful. This is going to take a while to do, actually. Let me come around the other side without knocking the tripod. Let's see how this goes. I just don't want to tear it. You kind of got to pull away from the line at every single point. So I don't want to pull towards the paint ever, because that has a more of a chance of bringing paint with it. So I can't just do a rough tear off. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, all right, okay. Let's do the next one. I'm feeling more confident now. Okay, I think we're kind of like almost done. Check out this. Look how good it looks. Check out how good. Like, I'm definitely not going to miss that and trip over that thing when it's in the office. When it's in the workshop now. I could have that in the office. It's cool. It's still like very slightly tacky, as in not bad, but sticky. So I'm probably not going to sit on it just yet. I might leave it for a day or two just to cure finally, like just have the paint go hard. Then we'll put the bottom bits in and then we'll test it out. Let's see what happens in a couple of days. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. We're done. Look at it. Look how cool it is. Now all we need to do is put the little feet back in and then it's ready to go. I was going to maybe put a clear coat on it, but I kind of want it to wear. I want it to scratch a little bit and I want it to... Like, I don't think it's going to be fragile. It is enamel paint on enamel paint, so it should be fine for the most part. But at the same time, like, the red has, you know, chipped away here and there because it's had use of me standing on it and me sitting on it and me using it for stuff, and I want this chair to feel the same. I want to be able to see the marks of, use. So let's stick the ends in, which I have here, and let's use it as a chair. Done. Let's sit on it. All right, we're done. New stool, one I'm less likely to trip over. Hopefully. That's it for this episode of DoSE Work. Of course, there's a plane. There's always a plane. I never noticed how many planes fly over the workshop, but apparently a lot. So we'll deal with it. We deal with everything. We'll get there at the end. Okay. Go have fun. Enjoy yourself. Go customize something. If there's something that's not working exactly the way you want it to work, go and make it work the way you want it to. If you keep tripping over a thing, make it so you don't keep tripping over a thing. But here you go. No worries. Let's go. Catch you soon. Go make something. Have fun. Bye.